I am Bethany Wenches, real estate agent with Addison Jones, and you are watching Tuesday Talks with Bethany, where I answer real estate FAQs. Today, I am wrapping up a series that I have been doing for buyers, and that has been called Staying Focused on Finding the One. I have been giving you good ideas and thoughts to consider when you are out looking to purchase a home, to help you stay more focused in on what is really important to you so you do purchase the right one. So today I'm going to go over 3 more things that all start with L, and that is location, lifestyle, and life stage that I'm going to talk about that you should consider when you are purchasing a home. So first off, we are going to start with location. What is important to have close to you? Do you want to have a long commute to work or a short commute to work? Are you okay with an hour drive, or would you prefer a 10-minute drive? What about school? Do you want to be driving the kids a half an hour to school every day, and when you have to pick them up, that is an hour of drive time in the morning and in the afternoon, both ways? Or do you want to make sure it's like a 10-minute drive to school? And then what about how close do you want to be to family? Are you in a life stage where you have littles and grandma helps watch the kids 2 days a week, and so you want to be 5 minutes away? Or do you want to be where you're driving 45 minutes to drop them off? So thinking about how close do you want to be to the important things around you? How much time do you want to spend in the car? And then also with location, what about city versus country, and being realistic with it? So for example, I love nature. I love the country. That's where I would 100% prefer to be. But the convenience of the city right now for where I am in life just works out good, and I just think it's better for me at this point in life. So it's just being realistic with yourself too, because yes, I would love it, but right now with the drive time and how much I'm on the go, this just works out better. Next, I'm going to talk about lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? And what do I mean by that? Well, here are some good questions to ask yourself to help you answer that question. What rooms in your current home or apartment do you use all of the time? So do you spend a lot of time in your living room watching movies as a family? Or do you have friends over all the time for game night in the living room and you're crammed in? Or are you having barbecues? Or are you the person who is, curling up in bed with a good book? What is your lifestyle? And then what room do you maybe wish you had that you don't have? For example, are you working out every single day in your living room in a small space, and you really wish that you maybe had, a designated area in your basement, a bigger space that was out of sight from your living room that you could work out in? Or do you really wish, like I said, you're cramming everyone into your living room for game night and you really wish you had a bigger one? So it's what do you use all the time? And then it's what do you wish you had that you could utilize that you don't have? And what I used with the weights is a good example for me, because I do work out in a little space in my living room. And the next place I go to, I'd like to have more of a designated space. So that's where that example came from. And I know that's a lot of people too. So anyways, are you an entertainer? Are you going to need a maybe open concept, big living room, big kitchen, big dining area so you can fit everybody in, or a nice space outside like a big back deck, big back patio. Or do you host Christmas every year? So you need to make sure you at least have a big enough space for everybody to be there, everybody to stay over. And then, are you the parent who hosts the sleepovers? So do you have a space for that? Or do you spend a lot of time outdoors? And so you don't really care if you have a smaller house because you spend most of your time outdoors anyways. And then this, again, is something to be realistic about, and comes back that I can relate with. I would love to have lots of land, lots of acreage. Like I said, being out in the country, but having lots of land. But the thing is, where I'm at in life to upkeep all that would be pretty hard. So we just have a bigger yard in the city. And I don't think, 3 acres out in the country would be realistic for my life right now. So it's always about being realistic with yourself as well. But, knowing what your lifestyle is and, down the road, maybe at my next house, that's what it gets to be. But for now, somebody else is having those parties. And then, are you a person who does like to have, loud parties, tons of people over? Well, having that in the city isn't going to work out very well. You're going to annoy your neighbors and not have happy people around you. So maybe it's the pole shed in the country to have the loud parties. And then after lifestyle, I want to talk about life stage. So consider where you are in life. So do you have the young kiddos right now where you want to have their bedrooms right by you or on the same floor? Or are you more closer to the teenager stage where you would like to have a main floor master and the teens can be upstairs? Or you want a split ranch where your bedroom's on one side and their bedroom's on the other side? Or having to finish a basement space so the teens can go hang out down there? Or are you in the empty nester stage where you don't really need all that space anymore, but you still host Christmas every year? So it'd be a good idea to have a finished basement where more people can spread out and maybe have a bedroom down there. So when the kids come home, they've got a place to stay for Christmas. So it's just considering what life stage you are in and what your needs are. And then when you're buying, also considering, am I going to be here for one life stage, like, 10 years? Or am I going to be here through multiple life stages through the next 30 years? And so if you're going to be there for the next 30 years, you have to be thinking through multiple life stages. So, okay, my kids are going to be little here. Then they're going to be teenagers here. And am I going to find a space that's going to accommodate both of those things, or am I going to move? So thinking about that. And finally, just asking yourself, can I picture myself living here? Is this really the house for me? Do I love it? Do I feel it? Am I passionate about it? So those are just some good things to consider. Location, lifestyle, life stage. And when you focus on those things, it will help you think more clearly about what you should be looking for in a home and just making sure you're considering all the right factors when you're buying, and then you buy and then, oh no, I didn't think about that. So just trying to help you cover all those bases. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. This wraps up the 3-part series for buyers about staying focused on finding the one. And now I'm going to switch over to sellers next week. I am going to talk about seller documents and the important documents to gather and get together for when you meet with your listing agent and what to have ready for them. So I will chat with you next week.